We'll now move on to our second panel discussion of this afternoon on a critical theme of sustainability at the heart. The conversation will explore how environmental, social, and governance principles can be integrated into Bangladesh's apparel value chain. Our distinguished moderator for this panel discussion is Dr. Rubana Haq, Vice Chancellor of Asian University for Women. Dr. Haq made history as the first female president of BGMEA and is a respected academic, published poet, and was twice named among BBC's 100 most influential women of the world. I'd like to introduce our esteemed panelists. Our first panelist is Dr. Gail Martin, Country Director Interim at World Bank Group, who brings over 25 years of development experience and holds a doctoral degree in microeconomics from Harvard University. Our next panelist is Mr. Edwin Kukuk, First Counselor for Green Inclusive Development with the delegation of the European Union to Bangladesh, who brings extensive experience in climate action and energy policy from his work with the EU and Netherlands Ministry of Environment. Our third panelist is Mr. Javier Lozada, Chief Sustainability Officer at Inditex Group, who leads the global sustainability strategy for one of the world's largest fashion retailers and has been instrumental in their eco-friendly initiatives. And let's welcome our final panelist, Mr. Jae Young Park, President of Youngwon Corporation's Material Division, who oversees the development of innovative and sustainable textile materials for Youngwon Group. Let's welcome them on stage with a big round of applause. Dr. Huck, I'd now like to hand over to you to lead us through this discussion.
Happy to, actually. After the last session, we have so much to say, so much to respond to, but of course, I think Mr. Mahtani gave us the last point, which was very important, that sustainability actually pays. And there's a quick ROI to this. Very honestly, if it was just sustainability, this session, if it was only about sustainability, I would have said it's an easy one. But it says from the heart. The heart bit makes it very, very difficult for us, because sustainability generally is a tick in any box. It's about attending seminars, webinars, making meaningful changes in the factory floor that we work in and beyond. But this beyond bit is something that we're going to talk about today. And this becomes an easy conversation for me, because we have in the audience Mr. Kihak Sang, who literally has 37 lakes, if I'm not mistaken, and has more than 250 birds, species, in Youngwon. So, a true friend of Bangladesh indeed. Thank you. All right, so let's indulge in this conversation. Let it be a free-flowing one. And if HSBC, BIDA, and BGMEA think that it's okay to take questions, I think we'd like to turn it around. We should engage the audience. Okay, so the introductions have been made. Gail, of course, is the Country Director Interim for World Bank. Pleasure to have you here. Edwin is the First Counselor, Green Inclusive Development, Delegation of EU in Bangladesh. Javier Lozada, Chief Sustainability Officer of Inditex. And of course, Mr. Jae Young Park. Once again, good to see you, President of Youngwon Corporation Material Division. Welcome. All right, and thank you, HSBC, HSBC, BGMEA, and BIDA for giving us the opportunity for this floor. Gail, my very first and quick question to you is, what are the three main things that you're really proud of, three investments that you're really proud of in terms of sustainability in Bangladesh? What are they? And number two, with the LDC graduation in the cards, what do you think Bangladesh should be doing next? Thank you.
So, good afternoon, everybody. Good to be here. So, your question about investments that we are proud of. I would say in Bangladesh, we have, for decades, have had investments that have also yielded results and moved indicators in terms of poverty as well as obviously per capita income. At a project level, I would say where we are proud of things is where it has changed the lives of people. It has improved their livelihoods and made their ability to invest in themselves. Micro investments, but investments nonetheless. I would say one is the Coastal Resilience Project. This project is is ensuring that we don't make trade-offs between care for the environment and the future and people's livelihoods. So this advises people how to sustainably, while respecting and protecting the environment, to exactly have livelihoods that's mutually complementary to the environmental goals. Sustainable way in which people fish, that's another way how we've seen, and in forestry as well. People are being equipped with skills to ensure that their own livelihoods can be sustained, but still in an environmentally friendly way. I would say another is the national single window that we are supporting through one of our projects. Now, you might ask, well, what is sustainable about that? But it is about making business easier to comply with also climate and environment sensitive regulations. People want to comply, and we should make it easy for people to comply with regulations that are also climate friendly. And this platform is important for many other reasons, but also for sustainability considerations in mind. The other, what we are proud about is about the transparency of that platform. It is transparent, people can track where they are, and it also reduces money being changed at various points in the transaction trail. So these are just a few examples that I think that we have seen from a green climate perspective to a governance perspective, that this country can deliver sustainable results in a transparent and accountable way. Thanks.
Thanks, Gil. I'll come back to you later, but let's have the first round. So Edwin, how do you really think you can contribute to bringing the entire Bangladesh, the industry, to be decarbonized? And how would you approach public-private partnerships, the concept? How would you be able to guide us in terms of that? Thank you.
It's working, yes. Yes. So also on my side, many thanks for having me here, and I'm really impressed by yesterday's morning and also our own afternoon program, where I was really impressed by all the inputs and all the contributions from the panelists. And also today, it is really inspiring. So I think BIDA really managed to have a very inspiring event, showing that the country is changing. Many of the messages that I wanted to give have been given in the sessions before, very well explaining why it is so important to work on sustainability, which we believe is part of the competitiveness, in addition to the costs, the speed, the ease of doing business, the quality. Sustainability is crucial for European buyers, and we want to work with Bangladesh to ensure that Bangladesh is competitive in the area of sustainability. And I think there it has been rightly said that it's not only about leads. Leads is very important and it's very positive, but decarbonization will be more and more important from the European angle. Our buyers under our legislation need to make climate transition plans, and they are comparing Bangladesh with the competing countries, and they are looking at things like the electrification, the possibility to electrify the sector, the possibility to use renewable energy. And as you know, there is work to be done here on the grid, and there's work to be done on the share of renewable energy in the energy mix. So we are helping Bangladesh, we are working with Bangladesh to improve the grid and also to increase the share of renewable energy in the energy mix. And we also work through several projects, and perhaps I can tell something about it later, to invest in the factories, in the effluent treatment plants, in energy efficient machinery, and in rooftop solar. I think the MOU that was signed yesterday between PRAN and IFC and H&M is a very good example of what can be done, and we want to support it and want to work together with those partners. Perhaps I can also mention that yesterday another MOU was signed in our B2B event that we organized. This was between Solar Power Europe, the biggest representative association of European companies in the solar energy sector, and the BSREA, the Bangladesh Sustainable and Renewable Energy Association. So we also really want to bring together European and Bangladeshi companies, and we want to better connect public investments and private investments.
Thanks, Edwin. Javier, so Inditex has a very ambitious target of net zero by 2050, halving the GHG emissions by 2030. How would you bring your suppliers to the table and make sure that the limited and negative impacts that we now have on the environment, how will you encourage them to be reduced?
Well, Salam alaikum, good afternoon. Yeah, it's a very good point. We set goals, yes, we set goals, and we have set ambitious goals for decarbonization in 2030. We have committed to reduce our GHG gas emissions, scope 1 and 2 by 95% and scope 3 by 51%. But it's not only decarbonization, but also the use of water. For instance, we committed to reduce the use of water by 20% by 2025. And setting goals is just the first step. Is the way of addressing the different impacts arising in the industry. And maybe in a big simplification, we could say that the main impacts come from raw materials and transformation processes. All of them happening in the supply chain. All of them happen in our scope 3. So here is where our partners from Bangladesh industry start the journey with us. And working for addressing that impacts mean launching ambitious programs. And that's the reason why we launched our supply chain environmental transformation plan, 2024-2027, where we set goals, annual goals, not only for GHG emissions, but also for water, for the use of chemicals, water use and water recharge, the use of chemicals, and the waste management. And we set these goals for each and every year, and we ask all the members of our supply chain, from garment to cutting, weaving, spinning, wet processes, all the facilities involved in the supply chain, we ask them to propose a plan to address these impacts. And we support them technically with an external technical service, free of charge for them, where they can address these impacts through a plan. This combined with a good financial capacity that we are looking in parallel, we are working in parallel with different multilateral banks, private companies to be able to address these financial challenges arising for this transformation is what can really create the new transformation processes of the future. BGMEA has mentioned here also some multilateral options that we have to address, because this transformation has to be led by the owners of the industry. So we need initiatives, industry-led and country-oriented. And this is something that the International Apparel Federation is really addressing with this new program, where we are also very involved and that BGMEA has already mentioned here. So this is the first part that is addressing the transformation of the processes. But I mentioned also the raw materials. The raw materials is the other relevant part. If we think in not only decarbonization, but all the different impacts on water, on land, on biodiversity, probably raw materials means that more than 50% of the impact that the industry has. So we have set also, once again, the first step, setting ambitious goals. And we set ambitious goals for 2030. We committed to only use 100% lower impact raw materials. That means that, for instance, 40% of our raw materials will come from recycled raw materials. 25% will come from regenerative or organic agriculture for natural fibers. 25% will come from next-gen raw materials. That means something that is not available at the scale nowadays, where we need innovation. And the rest of the 10% will come from other kind of lower impact raw materials. So setting these goals for us means setting annual fiber plans for our buyers and connecting the remuneration of the company to that goals. So it means for us delivering really on that, because actually if we look to our 2024 numbers, we can say that we are almost in the 40% in recycling, that we are around 23% for organic and regenerative, and we are on 10% for the others. I mean, whereas there's still a gap, it's in the next-gen raw materials. And there is where it's very important to launch tools. That is the second stage. I mean, working on a cotton strategy, working on innovation, I mean, working with the startups, with industrial companies to develop these new raw materials that are going to reduce really the impact. This is the challenge we have now ahead. And we are trying there to connect the dots. We launched our Sustainability Innovation Hub in 2025 to scout, identify, develop, and commit to these new raw materials. I mean, making an entrance on inequity when necessary, making an offtake when necessary, or using our supply chain to develop that textiles. So all this process and this connection is where, once again, the industry in Bangladesh gets into the space. I mean, adapt and scale these raw materials is the real challenge. So to end up with, as a kind of big summary, I mean, adapting and scaling and using the low-impact raw materials, first point. Second, transformations of the processes to use less energy, less water, less land is the second point. I think there's a huge opportunity here, huge business opportunity here for early adopters. And we have seen before that Bangladesh industry is very good at taking advantage of business opportunities.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Park, over to you. So how do you incorporate sustainability into your manufacturing practices? And because you do a lot of now man-made fiber-based textiles, how do you link sustainability to MMF? And before you say anything, let me just say I hear a lot of conversation in the audience, and I don't blame you because we are very close to lunchtime and everybody wants to eat. So we'll make this conversation, this round of conversation interesting so that you at least stay tuned. Thank you very much. Mr. Park, please.
Okay. Before I start my answer to your question, I just want to quote, one moment I, had in my office, or actually it was Chairman Song's office, and we were talking about some, sustainability, agendas. And I'm, tech guys. I'm engineering based, the mechanical recycle, you know very well, chemical recycle, material wise. And we were talking about that, but, one day he mentioned very, long lasting, comment about this. It was, he said that, what is this best sustainability? So I answered, less energy, the engaged and, more recycle for the, material, mass balance, etc. And his comment was, best sustainability practice is like this. So if we make, stronger, much stronger, and, tolerable, and lasting long, the garment, it's best, sustainability. It do not have any relations with recycle. It do not have any, the engagement of any additional energy. So it was kind of, such a powerful comment to me. So let me start by, as engineer-based, guys, comment about our activities, young ones' activities about sustainability. So I want to divide into three areas about our activities or initiatives on sustainability. So one is material. So we are recycling many other material like polyester, which is 71 million metric tons. It's like 57% of global material for the textile. And we are, certainly recycling that with the garnetting machine, and we are, disassembling the structure of textile, and then, use that, material into our insulation first. So normally we use that recycled material into our insulation because we are outdoor, the garment maker. We use a lot of, down or synthetic, down-like material. So we use it as a, the insulation material. So that is most simple and low, the energy engaged, the efficient way to recycle. And the other way is, for example, the wool. We use a lot of wool also. So when we make a wool garment, there's a cutting table. So we use 90% as active, the material for the wool garment, and the other 10% is waste. So we, bring it into our garnetting machine again, and in this case, not the insulation. We are making yarn. We are making the woolen yarn with that the waste material, and making a whole garment or seamless garment, and we are circulating, or we are selling that in our the no space shop in Korea. So it is not just a good picture or good idea. So it is already the commercialized. So that is very good news to me. So the other area I want to mention is we are also considering many other way of recycling. As you mentioned, there's a bio based material, and there's some enzyme engaged material. So there's many other innovative material. We really need to maintain our focus also on that new innovative material also. And second bullet point is there's a material, and also there's energy. When we make garment, there's many the energy engaged. So already, we presented 40 megawatt peak of solar panel, the solar energy we are using now. So I can say that in this year, 2025, we are well balanced. We are selling, to the grid, and we are receiving the electricity during the night, and we are, let's say, net zero, concept. But from next year, that will be more. Our, solar panel energy will be more than we use. So, the global base, next year, 2026, we use 100 megawatt peak of electricity globally, and we produce 100 megawatt peak of electricity by our own solar panel. So that means, the internally, we are fulfilling our, the all necessary electricity. So that is, energy-wise, the sustainability initiative. The next bullet point is, sustainable environmental, all the activities we are doing. We are, implanting 200,000, trees in our KPZ, and now, it is already 3 million numbers of trees in our, the industrial park. And we have many big lakes in our industrial park. As mentioned, 137, species of birds are, flying over our, industrial park. So that is, the another shape of our sustainability, activity. So in short, Youngwon is, always coping with all the, the regulation, or the guidance of the European Union. Also, you are guiding 30% of recycled or the environmental friendly material usage. So we are already using 60% of eco-friendly material. So we are targeting the 90% next 3 years. This kind of all the sustainability initiative we want to lead. And sometimes we want to learn from our, the market, leaders. So that was my short and humble, presentation about Youngwon's all the activities. Thank you. Thanks
Thank you.
for
But
your
you know
listening.
what? I think I
Thank
can
you.
add more to each one of you what you're actually doing. You're doing more than what you have actually shared on stage today. So I'm coming to actually a critical point. What is sustainability? Is it, like I said, just about ticking the box and doing what you're doing? It's much more than that. So let's, and each one of them are actually doing this and probably not have brought this to the attention. Now, so I wear a corporate hat and I also wear an academic hat, so I have my eyes in both places. When a worker basically works in a very compliant factory and then ends the day and goes back home, is that a green home that he or she returns to? Nope. Do we make sure that we are doing enough so that a community engagement happens? Nope. So I think what we ought to do is, when we say, I started a new slogan, #GoHuman, I think we need to go human first. That is an integral part of sustainability, and each one of them are actually doing much more. I will start with Youngwon. And sustainability to them is just not about producing sustainably. I'm linking Mr. Ranjan Mahtani's comment, and he said, Mr. Kihak Sang has automated up to 30%. And what will happen to the labor force who are left behind? What about reskilling? What about insertion of education? So that is something Youngwon has already thought about. Youngwon now houses approximately 300 students, females, from Asian University for Women in their campus. So a very big hand to him. And we literally have another campus at KPZ, so that's something. Secondly, Javier does a lot more as well. So again, insertion of education. They just agreed to sponsor 50 scholarships for ready-made garment workers going to university. So that's sustainability. European Union has been a friend of a certain university, and I don't want to sort of, market my university, but I'm very proud of it, Asian University for Women, and we have lots of European partners who support female education. So European Union does a lot more. World Bank has been kind enough to also invest in the infrastructure of the university. So, these are replicable things that can happen. There are many other things that we can do. But we need to ask ourselves, what does sustainability mean to each one of us? So, what does sustainability mean to you at home and at workplace? Gail.
All right.
Very quickly, because
Sure.
we want to have a hard stop at 1:35. Thank you.
Let me mention sustainability at work. So we do a ban on plastic bottles. Water jugs and dispensers is what we use. We've got water harvesting, so that we are able to sustainably use water resources. We are in the process of getting budget for solar panels. So these are measures that actually we are proud to be surrounded by. At home, I don't recycle. I have two separate bins. I sort them out, but it gets combined by the housekeeper because the rest in the value chain is not separated. So that's work in progress.
Great. Okay. Edwin, very quickly, European Union, beyond just the sustainability tick, what are you ready to do for Bangladesh, as you all believe in Bangladesh?
Okay, so actually we're doing a lot of things also in relation to the working situation. We have a Team Europe initiative on decent work. So in addition to sustainability, labor rights is a key part of also future discussions on GSP Plus. We support a project called Shakti Kona, I don't know whether you're aware, which supports young women working in the energy sector, young, very talented women. There's a lot to say. In my private situation, perhaps at home, I should say that I try to offset my emissions when I fly, so that I use these offsetting programs.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So the human part of Inditex.
Yes, I will be very short because I'm going to use not only my words, but I'm going to use the words of the Honorable Chief Advisor. He said it yesterday, and it's absolutely aligned with the feeling in the company. He said, business provides us with happiness, but making other people happy provides us super happiness. And this, I think, sustainability is about that, about getting people happy and getting to us super happiness.
Okay, for me, most important sustainability activities in Yeongwon is, as you mentioned, our Textile and Fashion Institute, and also, the other part is R&D. So the most important thing for me is maintaining and the accumulating our knowledge from the industry, and also our experience from the industry. To do that, best vehicle and the best way is having the right training center, education center, and R&D center. That is the key for success. Very clear. Thank you.
So we are almost at the fag end of the conversation. Just want to mention also that, there are many people and many institutions that believe in insertion of education as a part of sustainability. HSBC has done it. Basically, HSBC has very kindly also made sure that the regular garment worker is actually reskilled and goes to the next mid-managerial level to become the next merchandiser, the next business head. So HSBC actually also has indulged in a master's program in apparel and retailing. So sustainability in general for us is what it is, but beyond the ticked boxes of sustainability, we need to think hard, think very seriously, and take this conversation forward. Just one last word or a sentence, just one, in why do you believe in Bangladesh? Starting from you, and then we'll end. Believe in Bangladesh. One sentence.
For me, Bangladesh is giving, the passport to our chairman Song, and it is, best glory and best, the achievement of our company, and our not only, our Bangladesh employees, but also our Korean, employees really enjoy business in Bangladesh. Your people is really great. That's all. Yeah.
Javier?
Pues for me, this is my third time in Bangladesh, and every time I come, I got more and more impressed about the entrepreneurial spirit of the entrepreneurs here. I mean, you guys are able to change the world.
I very much believe in Bangladesh because of its people indeed, but also in particular the youth. I'm very impressed by the youth of Bangladesh, and they are your future. Yeah, thank you.
I believe in Bangladesh because this is where one can do well and one can do good. The chief advisor gave us a lot of inspiring words yesterday. The speakers showed how Bangladesh is resilient, but then also the people of Bangladesh are proud and really own this country and want to see it thrive. So this is what inspires me, and I think in this country you can do well, but you can also do good. Thanks.
Thank you. With that, we can all go for lunch. That's one. And hopefully with the tariff fears on hold for the next 90 days, we'll have a better lunch this afternoon. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you
And
to
all
our
for being
moderator and the panelists for that very educative discussion. May I please request you to stay back for a group photo? And may I please request the following members to join us back on stage for a quick photo. Mr. Kihak Sang, Mr. Mahbubur Rahman, Mr. Anwar Hossain, Mr. Shams Mahmood, Rear Admiral S.M. Moniruzzaman, Mr. Tariq Hassan, Mr. Zahidul Amin, and Mr. Javier Olsina. Please join us for a group photo. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We've had some very interesting and very good discussions. If I could summarize a few of the key topics that we talked about, Bangladesh has come a long way from its humble beginning. But as we've heard from our speaker, our panelists, and our moderator, we still have a long way to go. If there are areas that we need to focus on, it's definitely automation, digitization, sustainability, and of course, a more strategic port system. So we're able to, as Mr. Sung and many of the speakers have mentioned, we need to get our goods to the market a lot faster. And as we've heard from our government and authorities, they are working day and night to ensure that we can do so. So to our investors, Bangladesh is open for business. We thank you for your time, for joining us. And thank you to all our audience for joining us and for your active participation. I'd now like to direct your attention to a one-of-a-kind experience, the B2B matchmaking session, where we have curated an exhibition of some of the unique apparel products made right here in Bangladesh. We have a dedicated networking lounge on level 1, where you will have the opportunity to network with representatives from BGMEA and the apparel manufacturers. So please do head upstairs to the boardroom on level 1 to see for yourself. Happy networking, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the afternoon.